Well, you know that theme song, it means that we go out to the other coast of the United States, out to the West Coast, check in Hollywood, California with Michael Snyder. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Alex, and hello, listeners. Greetings from Southern California. I hope you're not in the wake of the hurricane or it's not coming at you right now on the East Coast, but wherever you are, we've got new movies to discuss. Let's get to it. We'll start with The Predator, a new movie about the fierce, scary-looking aliens from way out of our solar system who live to hunt other species and have visited our planet and wrought havoc in other movies, with this one considered a practical sequel to the first two Predator films, which began with the best of them, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger in his action hero heyday. I was excited when I heard that this one, about a return of more than one predator to Earth, and maybe a new breed of the creatures, would be written and directed by Shane Black. I've really enjoyed every movie I've seen from Black. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, even Iron Man 3. I mean, they're generally darkly witty, somewhat noirish action movies with snap and self-deprecating lead characters. In fact, Black wrote the original Lethal Weapon, as well as the more comedic take on the genre Last Action Hero. He's kind of a pioneer in the style, and you get some of that here as a crack military sniper whose family life is in the tank, is on a mission near to where a predator crash lands. Eventually, this leads to the sniper being snatched up for silencing by a secret government organization that plans to incarcerate him with a misfit crew of ex-soldiers to keep him under wraps. But then a second and more fearsome predator shows up looking for the one who crashed, and all hell breaks loose. Our designated hero, Sniper Guy, is played in boilerplate fashion by a serviceable but unmemorable Boyd Holbrook, casting the always excellent Sterling K. Brown as the cold and calculating director of the government's alien Black Ops unit is almost a waste of talent, considering how little he's given to do here. The sniper's brainiac son, by the way, is played by The Room's Jacob Tremblay, and the kid is pretty much a plot device, since he triggers a beacon in his suburban basement that attracts predators like, I don't know, giant killer moths to a flame. Added to the mix is Olivia Munn as a female scientist who, in short order, knows too much about the aliens for the government's liking. And there you have a mess that starts off strong with some cool action sequences, starts to rely on typical Dirty Dozen style interplay from rogue soldiers, and ends up as a science fiction muddle with questionable motivations by everybody, heavy CGI animation, and wild athletic feats and gunplay that become absurd, especially when executed by the female scientist who has no business being this good at defeating aliens. I mean, I'd go back and watch the first Predator movie from 1987. It's leagues better. And by the way, it features Shane Black in the cast. I mean, too bad he couldn't live up to a legacy that he helped launch. Moving on to A Simple Favor. Speaking of directors, when I think of Paul Feig, I think of two great comedies that he directed, Bridesmaids and Spy, the latter being the only Melissa McCarthy movie that I truly love. So I was eager to see A Simple Favor, which Feig directed, even if I understood that it was not strictly a comedy. In fact, it goes into some dark and violent places. It turns out to be one of my favorite movies of the year, although falling a little short of greatness. It's a noirish thriller about a bond that develops between two women, a bond that leads to dangerous circumstances. But it also has a few droll moments that mock suburban life and the idea of the female buddy picture. There's sort of a bait and switch in the casting of Anna Kendrick, always a sunny presence, as Stephanie, a seemingly naive mommy blogger and single mother who yearns for friendship. Stephanie's son is classmates with a kid whose own mother, Emily, is played by the very charismatic and here enigmatic Blake Lively. She's a mysterious, high-powered corporate type in the fashion world, and when Emily disappears, leaving her son and husband alone, Stephanie makes it her mission to find her newfound friend and starts to uncover some unexpected details about Emily's world. One of the best things about A Simple Favor is how it directs the audience to certain plot points, but then those reveals don't really matter to the impact of the last act of the movie. Really got a kick out of this film. By the way, Crazy Rich Asians male lead, Henry Golding, plays Emily's husband in this thing, and he's quite good. Really got a kick out of this thing. It'll play well on video, but I'd even go to a movie theater to see it. Now, if you love Nicolas Cage at his most unhinged, Mandy is a new movie that gives you loads of Cage, utilizing that crucial item in his acting toolbox, being nuts, and makes it important, even essential, to what's actually a pretty bracing and creepy movie about a cult that snatches the love of his life and sends him off on a tear. Mandy's set in the Pacific Northwest in 1983, and there Red Miller, that's Cage's character, and his wife Mandy live. He's a logger. She works in the store. She loves fantasy novels and heavy metal music. He loves her. Then one day, the psycho leader of a wacko religious cult takes a shine to Mandy and has some rather disturbing-looking minions spirit her away. To say anything more would undermine your enjoyment of the film, and it just would, kind of lessen it. So I'm not going to tell you anything other than the fact that it uses hallucinogenic sequences and religious iconography and even a little animation to tell the tale of Red, the Avenging Angel. I will add that the cult sequences seem pretty on the mark from what we know of, like Charlie Manson and his family, and actor Linus Roach nails the horror of that sort of leader. And Cage is in his glory here. By the way, Mandy herself is played by the respected and somewhat aristocratic British actress Andrea Riseborough, but here she is thoroughly American, and with her character's cultural interests quite believable as a nerd's dream girlfriend. Mandy was directed and co-written in memorable fashion by Panos Cosmatos. I don't know much about the guy's work, but I'd watch his next movie in a bloody heartbeat. In the Children Act, Emma Thompson plays Fiona, who's this tightly wound high court judge. Her marriage is crumbling, and at the same time, she has to decide a case involving a teenage boy who's refusing a blood transfusion on religious principles. She becomes more involved with this case, and much more so than she usually would, resulting in serious complications for all involved. This works as well as it does thanks to Emma Thompson and as Fiona's wayward husband, Stanley Tucci. Plus, this kid, Fionn Whitehead, the young actor who plays the teenager, is really good. It's written by Ian McEwan of Atonement fame, based on his novel, and directed by Richard Eyre. The Children Act it's uneven in tone, but it's carried by the cast, especially Thompson. I think it's definitely worth watching if you have DirecTV, where it can be seen on pay-per-view. We'll quickly wrap up with Lizzie, which is a psychological thriller based on the infamous 1892 murders of the Borden family, and it stars Kristen Stewart as Lizzie Borden, with Chloe Sevigny as Lizzie Borden, and Kristen Stewart as the family's housemaid. And the story always held a certain fascination for me. And the movie, which I'm guessing is as historically accurate as it can be, is enlightening. And, all half-assed kidding aside, Lizzie gets into the psychodrama that the family experienced as the girl's unwanted status and her weird personality kind of pissed off her repressive parents. So when the family's Irish housemaid, Bridget, offers a little friendship and maybe true intimacy, Lizzie has hope until mom and dad put the clamps on, and, a tragic end is going to befall the Borden parents. The lead actresses, Chloe Sevigny as Lizzie and Kristen Stewart as Bridget, they give it their all, and that's enough to recommend this for viewing on cable. What are you watching, buddy?
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
No TV, no movies?
No, nothing.
All right.
Zero,
okay.
Nada. It's the doldrums just before the storm, which of course is in a couple of weeks when the new season starts. But anyway, tell them where they can find you, Michael.
On Twitter at Culture Blaster, on Facebook at Michael Snyder's Culture Blast page, and here, I guess in 2 weeks, we're taking a week off.
Okay, talk to you later. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Snyder, I'm Alex Bennett, and hey, if you're listening to us 24/7, there's more GABNet coming right up.